Hi, I'm Billi Maddox, and I'm gonna mess this up so that you don't have to. Okay, so I'm gonna be making a book out of an old jigsaw puzzle box. This is for someone and they requested this specifically. The problem with this is that this old jigsaw puzzle box is from 1992. It's from the 1900s. So it's a little bit stiff, it's a little bit dry, it's a little bit crackly. I know I've been using found objects to make notebooks as of recent, but this is old, so I've experienced a few things that I really had to fight this one. So anyway, first we're gonna find the center line here and score. I did score just a thin line, and then I decided to go a little bit sort of wider so that I can get it to actually fold, and attempted it again. This thing fought me at every step, and it didn't. My concern always with things like these, packaging and stuff, is that the front side of it, the picture side of it, will crack. Usually I get it not to happen by, scoring really well and going really slow. There was no chance for this. It just did. As you see, I tried to hog out way more material of that cardboard to get it to finally fold over. Still felt like I needed to go back and take out even more material. At this point, I'm getting really nervous that I'm going to cut all the way through it. Spoiler alert, I end up having to do that anyway because it's not cooperating at all. I don't know if you saw there, but you could see that it's cracking. But, this is the trade-off that you get when you are working with sort of older materials. This is from the 1900s, you guys. The 1900s. No, but seriously, this cardboard box is, maybe 30 years old? So, anyway, here I go. I'm just going to cut it in half, which means I'm going to have to make my own spine. What am I? Some kind of surgeon or something? I'm watching Grey's Anatomy right now, and everything is surgery to me, so who am I? Callie Torres? Is her last name Torres? Was that? Yeah, I think it is. Anyway, so I'm gonna make my own spine, and I'm gonna do that, and I figured out a kind of a cool way to add a bit of pop of color, a bit of pop of hot pink. I love my hot pink. Did you see my last video? I love my hot pink. I get all riled up about it. So I'm going to take this piece of tape, and I want it to be a third of the size, but instead of cutting it down, I figured that I would fold it a third of the way and then fold it a third of the way again, right? Fold it in thirds. That's why I said that already. Just so that I have a really sturdy spine to work with. And I'm going to then take this strip. This is hot pink duct tape, by the way. Have you heard about it? Have you seen this? You heard of this? I'm gonna take this and then center it into that other piece of tape that you see there, sticky side up, so that I can kind of create a spine. And this will give me the amount of space that I need. Now, tell me one thing. Once this is glued down, does this look like a cartoon piece of bacon? It looks like a cartoon piece of bacon. I love that it looks like a cartoon piece of bacon. That was only for me because no one will ever see this. But, you guys will see this. But, no one will ever see this in real life. Anyway, look at the cartoon piece of bacon. Okay, so I'm going to stick the two sides of the cover material, the jigsaw puzzle box. I'm going to stick both sides down so that I can give myself a little bit of room. Another spoiler alert, I put them too close. So you're going to see me putting this down, you're going to see me putting this other side. I'm going to fold it and immediately realize I have not given myself enough room. I've not given myself the room that I need. So I have to take this off of the covers Thankfully, nothing lifted up, like the artwork on the front. Like, it was fine. Like, this thing is like a piece of like a piece of thin metal now. It's so like crispy and crunchy and stiff. There is no give to this cardboard, so it was really tough to work with. But yeah, it fought me every step of the way, and this was another step where it fought me. Really, I even though like it went smoothly, you know, I didn't sort of struggle with it, but I did encounter a lot of problems, and I wanted to put this video up because, hey, I'm good at making books, and sometimes you get a set of materials and they fight you and you gotta figure it out. I also put them too far away, so I had to then reposition this a third time. The third time, hey, was a charm, and I got it exactly where I needed it, and it was very nice. But yeah, so I wanted to put this video out because this stuff happens, you know. Even if you're good at something, every once in a while you come across a certain set of materials and they're gonna fight you. They're gonna fight you. Oh, they're gonna fight you. And that's what this one did. So anyway, I got this positioned all nice. And I know it seems like it looks like exactly the same thing I did the first time, but it isn't. It is another board thickness in thickness. So I needed it to be a little more thick. But yeah, I really do think that this pop of color kind of makes the notebook look kind of cool rather than just being like boring roses. I think it makes it look a little, I don't know, I think it makes it look a little cooler. So I kind of like that I had to go this route. And this technique for the spine, I've done it in the past with other things. You've seen me do it all out of cardboard. This being done out of tape was out of necessity, because I knew that there was no way that I could create one out using just this material. So anyway, I've got it all set, and then I'm just tucking in these sides here. I won't show you, I mean, you'll see me putting it down, but it's not very clear. But after this, I put down just one single line of sellotape down the center, just to keep the middles of the cover material stuck down to that to the tape, to the pink duct tape. I'm telling you, every step of the way I had to figure out, okay, here's a new problem. What do I do now? Okay, let's try this, you know? Anyway, I think it looks kind of cool. This is it's going to be I guess an address book, a phone number book. But yeah, here's the sellotape. I just did that. I needed something thin that wasn't going to take up too much space, that wasn't going to inhibit the folding of this cover. So hey, sometimes simple is the best. I put a little bit of sellotape there, kept everything in place where it needed to be, and still gave me the functionality and works like much better now. So there we go. I've essentially right now at this point made like a little folio, but now we're gonna bind this. I think now we're gonna bind this. I don't know. Well, I'm showing it to you right now. I'm gonna do a simple 3-hole stitch. What's this? Pamphlet? Is this a pamphlet stitch? I think it's a pamphlet stitch. Is it a pamphlet stitch? Yeah, I think it's a pamphlet stitch. I don't know look, I don't remember them. It is, you've seen me do this. This is how I do my small notebooks. What are they called? Field notes. Like this is how I hand bind my field note style notebooks, my field note sized notebooks. So you know this stitch. If you've been watching, you know this stitch is a 3-hole sort of figure 8 situation. You start at the middle, from the inside, go to the outside, go through the hole on the top, back to the inside, go right back through that middle hole, and then back around to the bottom hole and up. It's just a figure 8. You've seen me do this countless times, but this is sort of another way to do it. It's just a weird application of it. because of how this cover had to go. And since they wanted this cover specifically, this is how I had to just sort of figure out how to do it. So I'm gonna cut to, I came back from the outside, inside goes out, then back in, then back through the middle hole, then down and in through that hole, and then back to the center where we will tie it off. I usually tie this off with the needle, but it fell off of the thread that I'm using. I'm using embroidery floss, which is not what I normally use, but it was very hard to get into the needle, and it fell off of the needle right at the end, and there was no way that I was going to get it back on. So I just did the knot without it, with the use of my mechanical pencil, with the lead pushed all the way in, of course, so that I'm not marking up this notebook. Was able to get this knot, it's just a square knot here. We tie it off into the middle, nice and taut. The binding of this actually was the easiest part. Well, I mean, I've done it hundreds of times now, and hundreds of times on this channel. But it was easy peasy. Everything stayed in place. Sometimes there's trouble with getting everything taut. I didn't show this part, but I made 4 slits in the back. Since this cardboard is so rigid, I made these 4 slits in the back so that I can put an elastic in. You can see the marks there. I'm erasing them at the moment. And then I used this small file that I have, which was the perfect width in both directions to be able to sort of slide this elastic through easily and sort of make that notch the size that it needed to. I just tied it off in the back. I kept the knot sort of exposed so that this elastic eventually will lose its elasticity. So that's a good way to kind of be able to adjust it in future, since I know this book will get some use. That's a way that it can be then sort of made tight again. But this is essentially the book. I'm actually really liking it, besides the fact that it fought me tooth and nail every step of the way. It actually turned out really nice. Used pink embroidery floss on hot pink, duct tape to get these pink roses from this puzzle box from the 1900s through. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching. Roll the thing!